Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is my colleague, Forbes staff writer, Zach Everson. Zach, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on again, Brittany.
Zach, your latest piece really reads like a Mad Libs, so I would love to read the headline and then you break it down for us. This is your headline: Florida woman bequeathed Donald Trump condo in senior community. So first, what do we know about this woman, Barbara Fisher?
Not a ton of information. There was no trail of political donations. There was nothing that seemed to personally connect her to Donald Trump. She had served for two non-consecutive terms as the secretary of her condo board, and she left. She did not have a lot to leave behind, according to her will, but she gave the former president a substantial amount of it.
She didn't have a lot to leave behind, but what else was in her will, and what was the message specifically to the former president?
So she left. Her friend who was going to manage the state got $50,000 in the 2018 Honda Accord. Worker at a nearby Publix grocery store got $3,000 to start a new happy life. There was an animal rescue organization in the Palm Beach area that got $100,000. And then there was Donald Trump, address Mar-a-Lago, who got the condo. In the will, it said to sell as he sees fit. But originally, it had said, hopefully the monies of which shall be used to further the construction of the wall between the U.S. and Mexico. She did cross that part off, though, and initial it. So while that's not necessarily her intent anymore, it's kind of clear that was her intent at some point.
So her revised intent was to sell as he see fit. Donald Trump, your reporting, does know about the condo. How did he find out, and what has he done with it?
They did not respond to inquiries, so the best we can tell is that he would have found out about a month before the will was filed, when the person who was managing the estate reached out to him to inform him of this. And also there's an option where beneficiaries can contest who gets to administer the will, and he waived that right. So he got it there. Now, the reason we saw this was that looking at his annual financial disclosure, which my editor, Dan Alexander, was going over line by line. He's the one who handles our Trump valuation. He noticed that there was a new LLC there that he had not seen before. And we started pulling the string. And that's, it showed that it was a condo in Palm Beach, started looking up details on the condo in Palm Beach, saw that it had been transferred to him, and that he had then transferred it to the LLC. So he has not sold it. He's owned it for about a year and a half right now, and has not sold it. So, or at least I did not sell it as of a month ago, and it doesn't look like it's been on the market since. So he is still sitting on that right now.
Condo in Palm Beach. What else? What other details do you have aside from that regarding the property?
It's in a senior sort of living area. Members of the residents have to be 55 years old or up, at least one resident of the place. They do not allow anybody under 18 to live there full time. You do have to get approved by the condo board to become a member. The approval form does ask potential new members / home condo buyers to check off a box if they've ever been indicted or ever been convicted of a felony. So I think President Trump, if he was in fact required to fill out those forms, I think at the time he would have been required to fill it out. It would have just been indicted. But I did reach out to the Condo Association, multiple members on it. I did not get any responses. I'm curious if they actually knew that he lived there and if they actually made him complete the background check. So those are two questions that remained unanswered, sadly.
But he's still sitting on this condo, so how much is it worth?
It's worth about $150,000. We didn't do a full-on valuation of this one. Typically, I'd look at some of the comps and all this other stuff. He valued it at between, I think it was $150,000 between $100,000 and $250,000 on his financial disclosure. And the person who handled the estate valued it at about $150,000. And I looked at some of the comps, and that seemed about right.
Zach, you've been covering money and politics for a while now. And normally when you think about people's inheritances, people's wills, they normally don't bequeath their properties to former presidents or other politicians. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I haven't, but I want to start looking for it more. I just don't know an easy way to go through it. I mean, if you think about it, it does kind of make sense that maybe some of these seniors who are, like Miss Fisher, childless, never got married, no surviving siblings. Maybe they would do something like this. It's a substantial amount of her estate. It's a drop in the bucket for Trump, who's worth, billions of dollars. So sadly, I can't think of any way to just search databases of wills to see, if Donald Trump pops up. But you have to kind of know who to look for. So, that said, we have not found any other items on his financial disclosures that would make us think he's received any other, that would show he's received any other gifts like this.
Well, if you do, I'm sure you'll be back on and give us all the details. But for now, Zach Everson, thank you so much for your reporting. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Brittany.